Hey, welcome to Never Show the Monster. This is Chelsea Hollander.
And I'm Kelly Adway.
Thanks for tuning in this week. We're going to talk about the movie Spawn, based on the comic book by Todd McFarlane. And we have a special guest with us today who loves the movie. He is also the artist of our cover art. And so if you like art, his name is Ryan Tate.
Ryan Tate. Thank you for the introduction.
And not to do a Dimitri Martin bit, but even if you don't like art, his name is Ryan Tate.
Oh.
I'm excited to be here.
What would his name change to if he doesn't like art? I think there should be a name change.
Brian Fake.
Oh, great. Excellent job.
Perfect. So today we're going to talk about Spawn, the last in our 1997 series.
It's been a long time coming. We're finally finishing it.
Best for last.
Yeah. So Ryan he doesn't love this movie, but he loves Spawn. So that's why he is our guest on this episode. Kelly and I also had a hard time getting up the energy to watch this movie, so much so that you guys probably noticed that there was a week delay in this one coming out.
I think we had both actually watched it in time to record.
But it had taken so much energy from us that we didn't have the ability to prepare.
We had to muster the courage to record.
Yeah. I'll admit the movie's a bit of a slog.
You know what? There's only one good part.
There are a few.
Okay, I'm interested in hearing you highlight them.
I will highlight them, and I've got some fun ass facts on this one. So
okay, sick, dope.
Get excited. I think Ryan would recommend that you watch the Spawn miniseries on HBO if you decide to delve into Spawn.
Yes, 100%. It does Spawn right. If you're not going to do the comics, or really the first thing that I would recommend if you're new to Spawn, start with the HBO. It's so good. It captures the mood perfectly.
So is it funny?
No, it's completely serious. It's R-rated.
Oh.
It's unfiltered. It's as close to the comic as it can get, I think.
Who's Spawn in the HBO series?
The voice actor?
Oh, is it animated?
Yeah. It's a it's an HBO cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, then who's the voice actor?
It is.
I'm picturing them because I've seen his headshot like 50 times. He does a lot of voices for a lot of things. But I think that Todd McFarlane, I'm just going to give all the fun facts that Ryan has told me in the past. Okay. Todd McFarlane said that he was the voice of Spawn. Like, that is the Spawn that he pictured in his head.
Wait, okay, so when did this come out?
Same time. Exact same time.
The HBO series came out the same time as this movie?
Yeah. Does it make sense? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it a mini series? Is it multi-seasons? What's the format like?
It's just one season, but I think it would be considered a mini series. I think the expectation is it would have multiple. There are two. There's like a sequel and a.
Got it.
It's a trilogy.
It is voiced by Keith David.
David. I was supposed to say K.
Todd McFarlane himself said that this was the perfect voice of Spawn. And it is.
Thank you, Ryan.
Bringing in them fun facts.
I think this is the definitive sound of Spawn.
Whenever we discussed that part, Ryan was looking it up. So thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Vader is who's the voice of Vader?
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, so that's Darth Vader. Spawn is Keith David.
Okay. And who plays John Leguizamo?
Who plays Clown? Who plays John Leguizamo?
Oh, Clown?
Luigi Mario.
Michael Nicolosi.
Oh, I just looked up Keith David. I do know this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, but I think the movie actually is the better Clown.
Oh, the Clown. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably the part that I would say is the best part about this movie is John Leguizamo's portrayal of Clown.
Yeah, he did a really good job, in my humble opinion.
Oh, Kelly, do we have a different opinion? There's a...
No. I thought he did a great job. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, it looks like you're making a face. Maybe you were thinking about what you were going to say. And I was like, oh no, do I have a bad opinion?
No, here's what I was thinking about is the time that we saw John Leguizamo live, and that was troubling.
He is
what happened?
He is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Does amazing characters. His stand-up is not our cup of tea.
And it wasn't even, it was like a one-man show. He was like doing stories. Did he ever write a memoir?
He did, and I think he had like a one-man show that ended up being...
Oh.
I think that's what we saw. I think that we saw like a...
Workshopping it?
I think he was workshopping a one-man show.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. Because he did talk about like growing up and his life and his family.
I really just remember at some point being like, is John Leguizamo being racist? Or am I being racist? Racism is happening.
Someone's
for
being
sure.
racist.
And like, I don't know if it's him or me or the audience.
Everyone.
Like, I don't know what's happening. But there was definitely a part, I don't remember what he was saying. I don't remember what he was talking about. But the entire audience stopped laughing. Like everybody checked out. Like you could hear everybody's buttholes tighten. I was like,
I don't think that made it into the final cut.
I guess that's always the risk of stand-up, right? You don't know if they're like hammering out all the kinks to a new set.
Yeah.
Or you get the polished version.
Yeah, whatever we saw was not polished.
It was interesting.
But great clown. Great clown.
I've loved him in everything he's done. Like there's not been a point where I've been like, this could have been played better by somebody else.
No, honestly, I was down on watching this movie, and then you were like, John Leguizamo is in it, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
And then you watch the scenes with him, and you're like, I get it, but why so many farts?
A lot of farts, yeah.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Definitely clown's MO.
This isn't what I would categorize as a horror movie either.
No.
I know it deals with like themes of hell and things like that, but I would never consider this a horror movie. So I don't know if I would have listed it in the movies that came out in 1997. I don't know if I would have chosen this.
So as a reminder, we didn't pick these movies for 1997.
Oh, yeah.
Monkey Paw Productions on Twitter posted a meme. This was so long ago now. We've been on this series for weeks and weeks. They posted a meme of like different horror, like clusters of horror movies that came out in different years. And they were like, pick your favorite year. And so we chose 1997 to do as our next theme on the podcast, I think specifically because we wanted to talk about Event Horizon.
Yeah.
So great success on that count. And then Spawn was also in the list. But yeah, not really horror.
As you can see, this was our last movie for many reasons.
It's as close to horror as any superhero movie has gotten, save for that mutant one, right?
Oh.
What about Constantine?
Oh.
But that's not
I forgot about Constantine.
You're not talking about superhero movies. You're talking about comic book adaptations because
You're
he's not
right,
a superhero.
Is he not?
No.
He's super to me.
He's not super.
He's super
he doesn't have a
to me,
cape. He doesn't have a cape. Spawn has a cape.
Cape does not make a superhero.
Yeah, he needs a cape. He's not a hero.
Okay, so should we say that there's a difference between caped and non-caped heroes?
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
Oh,
some are
that's
like
true.
Iron Man, I guess.
That's true.
Iron Man has a cape.
What?
No, I was thinking of Thor. I'm sorry.
I feel like at some point he's probably had like a nano
Spider-Man, no cape.
Oh.
Spider-Man, no cape. Captain America, no cape. Winter Soldier, no cape. But I guess that goes.
Yeah.
Wait, is Winter Soldier not Captain America? Who's Winter Soldier if not Captain America?
Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, that's like
sorry,
a sidekick.
spoiler, anybody
Oh.
who hasn't watched Winter Soldier. It came out when I still worked at a movie theater, so back in many years ago. Did it come out did we watch it together, Ryan?
I don't remember.
No, it came out after I watched it. I think Ryan and I watched it together. We may have put it off because the first Captain America, I did not. That came out when I worked in a movie theater. I watched it like 2 or 3 times. Didn't like it. Kind of how I feel about Spawn. No offense. Kind of offense. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I have watched it like 4 to 5, maybe 6 times.
That's a lot of times.
I like the most recent time was because I had to rewatch it to do the outline because I didn't remember it enough when I watched it last week. Like,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
having some troubles.
So typically when I watch the movies for the pod, I take notes throughout. I essentially like live tweet the movie to myself in my notes app in my phone. And it got to the end of the movie and I looked at my notes. I had written the title of the movie.
Oh no.
You're like, this is all I have to say.
Wait,
Like,
is that
nothing-
because you were so sucked in and in the moment?
Absolutely not. No.
Well, fine. No, even Todd McFarlane has like said in interviews that he thinks of the movie as hitting a double. So it wasn't a home run, but it wasn't a single. He's a big baseball fan, so
Are we sure on that one? Are we sure?
he
I mean,
bunted it.
He had the HBO series at the same time, and that has been like hailed as like a home run. So like, be okay with saying like maybe it's a ball, like maybe it didn't even swing.
Yeah, he showed up to bat.
I don't know. Is that generous?
I don't know baseball enough to
He got his uniform dirty.
He chewed sunflower seeds in the dugout.
So he's just mean. But the movie, so he is the writer of the comic book that the movie's based on. He also created the character Venom. So that might be a character that you guys know more, or is more well known, especially with the Venom movies coming out. So you guys will see kind of like, if you watch Spawn, you'll see similarities between Venom and between Spawn, because they are kind of similar. And they, like, even in the way that they look and kind of move.
Yeah, Venom and Clown have the same teeth.
Do they? Maybe. It's like a whale.
I think so, yeah. Todd McFarlane used to be a pretty big deal at Marvel before he defected and started Image.
Oh, I didn't know he started Image.
Yeah, the top talent at Marvel, there was like 7 people at Marvel who were responsible for like 90% of their sales. And then Todd got all of them together and said, hey, we're making this company all the money. Let's just leave and do it ourselves and keep all the profit. And then they started Image Comics.
They unionized.
Basically, yeah.
For the home listener, when Ryan said that there were 7 artists making all the money, he did hold up 4 fingers.
You're supposed to imagine the other 3 between the fingers, because that's the empty space is also.
Oh, I see.
This many.
So wait, what else has Image done?
They're responsible. Their newer stuff is Walking Dead,
Saga.
Saga is a pretty big one.
Oh yeah! Wow, that is like one of the biggest comics that's currently available.
There was one that they did back when Spawn was created called Youngbloods. That was pretty popular.
Wait, so is Spawn Marvel or Image?
It's Image.
Okay,
but they kept Venom. They were able to keep Venom because the rights were already.
Yeah, that's Marvel's IP. So he created the character, but because he was working for Marvel, they own it.
And there were characters in this that were supposed to be in this movie that were not, because of the fact that they were owned by Marvel and he couldn't use them.
So that's an interesting point, because since Todd McFarlane created Venom, but he couldn't keep it or any piece of it, one of the rules that Image has is every creator creates everything that they make. The company doesn't own it.
That's excellent. That's dope.
Yeah, that's the best way. I love that.
He stuck to his guns because in the comic book, the person that kills Al Simmons is a character that something in the comic that happens from a character created by a different employee of Image. And so when Todd McFarlane made the movie, he had to change that because that's not his character.
Oh.
So he had to swap out something that was like canon in the comics with something else, because he didn't create the character, but the character was in Spawn, but it was made by a different artist.
And we couldn't like loop that artist into like movie profits, or?
I think they had
signed an agreement in which they couldn't give away their characters, even if they made them off the clock.
I think they went to either DC or Marvel, and I think they sold it. I could be wrong, but
that
something
would make sense.
happened.
That would make sense. Yeah, there must have been like a conflict of some sort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There definitely was. And I was going to say that's one of the things I read about it. But let's talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this movie was directed by Mark Aze Depay. And
Wait, say that again.
It's got an accent mark
It's
on
the
the
same
E.
word 3 times with different punctuation.
This was his only like feature length film that was actually released into theaters.
Oh.
He did direct the Disney Channel original movie Pixel Perfect, though.
Wow.
So
Okay. Hold on. I've got questions about that. Is that before or after the perfect film Pitch Perfect?
it was before. It was definitely before. Pixel Perfect was when. Yeah, it was definitely before. I watched Pixel Perfect probably on like sitting on the floor looking up at a TV that was not flat. The TV I watched it on was not flat. Is that helpful?
Got it.
When
Yeah,
I
it
watched
is,
Pitch
it
Perfect, I'm pretty sure the TV was flat. So.
Probably square too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys can probably check it out on Disney Plus and then compare the two films. It did teach me things about my life
Wait.
as a young child. Compare them.
Wait, are we
Yeah,
comparing
so similar.
Pixel Perfect to Spawn or
Spawn.
to Pitch Perfect? Okay,
No,
got
to
it.
Spawn.
Okay.
I mean, Pixel Perfect does deal with a singer in a band, but she is a hologram. It would be closer to Gem.
That makes sense.
Is it Gem in the holograms? Gem,
Yeah.
the hologram?
Yeah.
Is she a hologram?
I think it's a girl who, I don't know.
Has hologram backup dancers? Or is she a hologram? Is she not a hologram?
Oh,
Gem?
Gem in the hologram.
Is
Does she like
Gem a hologram?
transform like with hologram technology?
I don't know. I've seen Pixel Perfect. I have not seen Gem in the holograms. Gem hologram. Gem.
Do you remember when
Gem?
Kanye got Kim that hologram of her dead dad for her birthday?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did she want that?
I can't imagine she did. Like, there's no way that she was like, here's my birthday list, hologram of dead dad.
Yeah, that sounds.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
That sounds like it would be.
Or like, didn't a
not
hologram perform at like
Tupac?
I thought
Yeah.
Tupac. Yeah, okay.
Tupac did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
glad that we were all in agreement on that. And there have been many hologram performers after that, but Pixel Perfect was obviously leading the way. It was because it was a girl who didn't she had a Milli Vanilli it, but she couldn't get another person to be the front man, so she created a computer.
Don't do that's
hologram,
dangerous. Don't do
computer
that. That's
Yeah.
not gonna.
She
don't
did
do
end
that.
up having feelings. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to spoil that movie too.
Wait, so this was her before her too? Damn, this movie was a pioneer.
Yeah, you guys should probably. Actually, we're going to review Pixel Perfect during this.
And then
so
Pitch Perfect.
uncultured.
And then
Yeah,
Pitch
guys, check out
Perfect, and
Pixel
then
Perfect.
Mamma Mia.
You know what?
This is
I
just
would
a
love to do that
slow
series.
rollout of me trying to make this a musical podcast.
Perfect. Yeah, so the movie, I'll start with the movie. I'm not going to talk about the characters. I'm going to pepper them in as I go along. But it's going to begin with a quick backstory. We're traveling through hell. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of ideas of brimstone and CGI. And then we're told about a war that's gone on forever between the light and the dark, and that hell needs someone to lead their army. And there is a leader of the underworld, and his name is Malbolgia. Malbolgia? I'm hoping
I
that
think
someone will
so.
correct me if it sounds incorrect.
Yeah.
Malabolgia?
Malbolgia?
Malbolgia?
It's like MALE, right? Malbolgia.
Man, that's pretty
I typed
heavy-handed,
it by
huh?
phonetically. Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually is in reference to something that it means hell. Malbolgia isn't like a person, but it means hell. But Malbolgia is a like weird demon that looks like a dog.
You know what it looks like
Oh.
is the dogs at the end of Ghostbusters.
Oh.
The dog statues. The minute we saw his face in Spawn, I was like, fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Are there like illustrations that they're both pulling from? As,
Oh,
like, source?
maybe. I didn't see much about like why there was a decision on his mouth being open. There were some things I learned. I was like, that's dumb as shit. And this was one of them. So, and if you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Malbolgia never shuts its mouth. It
Yeah.
speaks and the mouth remains open. So it looks like somebody fucked up on the CGI the entire movie. And you're like, fire that person, why isn't the mouth moving? What the hell have you done? But it was supposed to be seen as Malbolgia is speaking, but they're speaking through hell. So they're the voice of hell. But you would still need to move your mouth to make the words be fucking words.
No, so he recorded it earlier. And now he's doing a bad lip sync. You've been on TikTok. You know what a bad lip sync looks like.
So that's Malbolgia. So that's our main evil man in this one. And he sent one of his minions down to Earth in order to ensure that men destroy the world, basically. So I think it's happening. I'm not really sure, but it feels right in this time. And then after this little backstory, we meet our main man, Al, and he takes down a plane. He seems like some kind of a mercenary or something, or a hitman, but he uses a rocket launcher and he fires at a plane, and the plane goes up in flames. And then sometime after that, he is home, and we meet his wife and his best friend. His wife is named Wanda, and his best friend is named Terry. Another thing that was similar to our first 1997 movie, Mimic, is we now know that was supposed to be a multicultural cast.
Yeah.
However, that is not what happened. This was also supposed to be a mainly, like, everyone, Terry was supposed to be black, and Todd McFarlane had written him as black. However, the studio said that they didn't want it to just be for that demographic. So they asked them to change all of the main characters that they considered black to be white, aside from Spawn himself and Wanda. And I wonder if they made Wanda black because
so
they
that
did
it wasn't
something weird with that.
multi-racial.
Yeah, and it's so fucked up. So anyway, what we're saying is 97 was incredibly racist, and we probably could have had better movies if people just let people be.
Yeah, Jesus.
So there's my soapbox. I'm going to get off of that, and I'm going to keep talking about this movie. So he then goes to work, and his boss is this guy named Jason, who's played by Martin Sheen. He is not as suave as he is in The West Wing. He is
I was like,
much smarmier.
No idea how that sentence is going to
I mean, he is the president of the United States. Fuck. He is the president of the United States and inspires confidence in us all. He speaks so eloquently because he's written by, who's that guy that writes all the movies and that does so well at writing
Sorkin?
Monologues. Sorkin. Written by Sorkin. Yeah, so it's perfect. So you're just like, oh, everything he's saying, I agree with. This is perfect. That's how I feel about Martin Sheen in The West Wing.
Not in this.
Not in this at all. He does have very bad facial hair. He's definitely evil. Definitely evil.
Okay. So when he is first on screen, I had two thoughts. Number one, which Sheen is this?
Papa Sheen.
Is this Tiger
Papa
Blood?
Sheen.
Which one is this?
Papa Sheen.
Papa Sheen. My second thought was, oh man, that is bad facial hair. And I can't wait for the scene where he rips it off and reveals his true identity.
As the president of the United States.
Yeah. But no, that was just his facial hair in the movie. That's just what he looks like.
And when we're introduced to him, he's like making a deal with this, like, you don't see what it is a silhouette of something, and it's a silhouette of something that sounds and looks like it probably smells really bad.
I know.
That is just the vibes that you get from the scene. You're like, this seems like you would not make a deal with this. Yeah, something's up.
Something's going on.
This is before any farts.
Oh, pre-fart.
This is pre-fart, but you
for sure pre-fart.
See,
but you can smell it. You can smell sitting and watching the movie. You're like, oh, I can smell that guy.
Yeah, Leguizamo is such a talented character actor. He embodied fart from the beginning, even when he was still in shadow.
Even if you can't see him,
something stinks.
He's perfect. Perfect. So we also at some point meet Jason Second, who is Jessica Priest, who I think is important in the comic books and possibly in the animated series. In this movie, not really. I'm not going to talk about her a ton, but honorable mention, I guess.
Yeah, I think she's just hot in this movie.
Yeah, she's played by Melinda Clarke, who is the mom in the OC.
No,
I hope I'm right on that.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I'm going based. I don't know if you like. Kelly and Ryan can see me. I'm going based purely off memory on that one. So.
Yeah.
Instinct alone.
Yeah. So then what's happening when he's having this conversation with this smelly silhouette is he's making kind of a deal for Al Simmons. So that's our main man. That's our protagonist is Al. And he said, oh, what about Al? And he's like, well, why would you want him, basically? And he's like, because we want him, man. And because Jason is a bag of bullshit, he is like, yeah, of course, no matter, I have no loyalty to anyone. I just want power and money,
Yeah.
like most
Double
politicians.
crosser.
Anyway. So Al goes to see his boss after he's done this mission. He also finds out that he killed a bunch of civilians in this, and it was very upsetting, and he is trying to get out of the game, and he does not like this anymore, and he just wants to be a family man. He just wants to go home. He just wants to be with Wanda. He just wants to live
And
his
his little
life.
dog.
Yeah,
Spaz.
his little dog, Spaz. Yeah, so he just wants to go and
Trying to quit.
Mm-hmm.
he basically goes to tell Jason, like, you know what, man, I'm done. And he was like, well, one last thing. And he was like, I want to be done. And he was like, no, do it. So then he was like, okay, I'll do it. But it is the fucking last thing I'm doing. It is the last thing. I have a lady at home. I have a dog at home. I'm not coming back after this. And he goes, okay, that's fine. Because he knows what he's going to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Al goes over to what is a biochemical weapons plant
Yeah.
in North Korea.
Oh.
I didn't know it was in North
realize it
Korea.
was in
I
North
did look
Korea.
that up and I was like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know it was there. There was no real indication of the location of it. I thought it could have been down the street by the timing of the scenes.
No, I definitely knew that it was.
Did he get on a plane? Did he travel somewhere? Have they been in North Korea the entire time?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely America for the most part.
So then Al gets there and then he notices there's a bomb. And because he knows there was a bomb, he's like, oh, there are civilians here. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
We're about to blow this up and it's going to kill a lot of people. This is exactly what I'm not into.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he gets worried about it, Jason shows up. Jason and Jessica are just there being like, hey, this was a trick. We're going to murder you. So that's what they proceeded to do. Lit him on fire, sent him to hell.
He was
Just
set
casually.
up. Got set up.
He did get
I
set
do
up.
want to point out, he like sets him on fire with his cigarette. He like flicks his cigarette at him and ignites him, which I think was supposed to look cool.
A lot of things in this movie were supposed to look cool. I don't think they got that memo that it needed to look cool, though. They spent a lot of money on CGI in this movie. I don't know if you noticed, but most of this movie is CGI. What did we watch? So we watched every movie we watched. Is there any that had a CGI that was on par with this? No. Mimic was fine. There was a little CGI, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, compared to this, Mimic was fine.
No. This was pretty bad. This was
It's
pretty
not
bad.
good. By
This
itself.
was not good, yeah.
So then Al travels down to hell at this time. So he's just floating through that fire and brimstone we saw before, and he's landing on this rock in the middle of hell. And Malbolgia is there and then asks if he wants to basically go back. And if he wants to go back, you have to lead my army. This is your job. Lead my army. I'll send you back.
And he's like specifically using Wanda here. It's not like, do you want to go back to live topside? It's like, do you want to go back to be with your girl?
Wanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even when he's going down the hole to hellhole, I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
As he's traveling down it, he just screams Wanda because that's the only thing on his mind. That's the only thing he cares about. That's the most important thing to him.
Mm-hmm.
So as he's going down the hole, he's just missing
the portal,
missing
the vortex.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's better. That's a lot better. I like that so much better than what I said.
Because it is like, it's metaphysical.
He is also covered in burns, just completely covered in burns. He no longer looks like the person that we saw before.
No.
Okay, so Alice has made this deal with Malbolgia, and he becomes a soldier of his army, and he sends them back to Earth. And he agrees immediately because he does use Wanda as the bargaining chip, and we know how Al feels about Wanda. He loves her so much.
This
But
was a
he
little
heads
dumb,
back.
though. Like, take a second.
Yeah,
and
think about it. Yeah, think about it. As somebody
Just a
who was
second.
wrestling morally with killing a bunch of civilians, being the soldier that leads the army of hell. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. You could put it on your resume. Do you think that would get you into one
What
other
are you
thing?
doing after
I
this?
don't
Like,
know.
what do you
I
mean
mean,
put it on my resume?
World domination? I don't know.
You got to go up against Malbolgia?
I mean, he doesn't seem like he'd be that hard. He can't even shut his fucking mouth, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, he obviously not smart.
Motherfucker.
Hey, as somebody who has really bad jaw problems, be kind. So Al heads on back to Earth. He is super burned up. He's covered in burns, but his feet are on the ground. He's back on Earth. And he has ended up in what seems to be an abandoned church or an area downtown near an abandoned church that has like a homeless encampment around it. And he meets a guy in a trench coat and a kid, and he doesn't befriend a kid. He's kind of a bitch to the kid, to be honest. But the kid is trying to be nice. I mean, like, it's not that bad here.
Who wants
like,
to
I don't
hang
give
out
a
with a
shit.
kid? I'm on Spawn's side.
Yeah, and they all seem pretty friendly. And then he meets the silhouette, which is actually a clown who, John Leguizamo, who we talked about at length, has played it. And then he grabs some clothes, and then he heads home to go see Wanda. But there's a catch.
Mm-hmm.
Malbolgia didn't tell him that there was a catch, but it's 5 years later.
That's a long time.
So, as expected, Wanda had to move on with her life because she's still a living person trying to do things. And he shows up, and surprise, it's a child's birthday.
Yeah.
It's a child's birthday party. And it's Wanda's kid. But with who?
Mm-hmm.
With who? His best friend, Terry.
Terry.
Bruh.
Terry, what the fuck?
Terry, what the fuck?
Double crossing Terry.
I actually thought this was sweet. Like, I don't know, if I die, who do I want to be together? My BFF and my partner?
I think that what it comes down to is that that is okay.
Yeah.
In this moment, though, when you come back and you think that you get to see your wife again and she's married to your best friend.
Oh, yeah. No, it absolutely sucks dicks. Yeah.
No, sorry. Not only married, has a child with. And an extra part of this that I don't think we get in this movie, or we do, and it's one of the parts that I have blocked out, but it does say it in the animated series. Al can't have children.
Oh,
So
shit.
Yeah, so it's
it's like a huge
double
slap in the
burn.
face. Yeah, like he can't
Triple,
have kids,
because you
and that was
remember
a big.
he's burned.
He's really burned.
There's a literal burning and a metaphorical burning
figurative.
happening.
Yeah, exactly. So he's freaking out, and the kid isn't afraid of him and actually goes up to him and tries to talk to him as he's like having a hard time. He's like going through Clown later calls it like ectoplasm rebirth or something weird. I don't.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was, it wasn't ecto. It was like, oh, God.
It's like necro, because it's
Necro.
like death.
Necro.
Necroplasm.
Yeah, that's it. Necroplasm. So he's going through some necroplasm something. So he's like shaking, and he like flashes green a little bit.
Mhm.
And the girl who we find out is Cyan comes up and just like says hi, and she's kind of interested in him. And then that sweet little pup Spaz comes up and is like, hey, I remember you. So at least Spaz remembers him. And then Wanda and Terry see him freak out because honestly, I'm not upset with their reaction in this moment. He does not look like he should be at a kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
If he had showed up, my reaction would have been more extreme than Wanda and Terry's, most likely. They were pretty chill for what I would expect in that moment.
And they remain really chill through some bonkers ass shit at the end of the movie.
It doesn't make any sense. So, and during the scene, there's also a clown at the birthday party who is Clown, but Clown is dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
So he didn't need to dress up because he already looked like that, but he did dress up. So you know what? Really committed. Really committed. And I actually really like this outfit, so I think he did very, very well.
Still had those scary teeth, though.
He did. These, in the 90s, I don't know if it's TV show or movies, I'd never came in contact with a clown. I did at the circus, but I never came in contact with a clown at a kid's birthday party. How often did that happen? Did people really hire clowns for birthday parties? People, write in. Let us know. Did a clown ever come to your birthday party? I want to know.
noshowmonster@gmail.com. I think that they did because John Wayne Gacy dressed up as Pogo the Clown for kids' birthday parties.
What year was that? 70s?
Or 80s, yeah.
I'd say probably 80s.
80s?
I think 80s, yeah. But I know that, like, clowns weren't scary in the public eye until John Wayne Gacy and because they happened like on a similar timeline. So yeah, I think that people didn't have clowns when we were growing up because they had already been.
They're like, no, they're murdering.
Like,
they're
those
murdering
are murders.
people.
Those
Definitely
are murders
not. No,
for
thank
sure.
you.
Yeah, they have so many dead kids in their basements.
I did watch a TikTok recently, though, that a girl was like, if you want to make stripper money, but you don't want to strip, become a clown. And I was like, are people paying for clowns?
Get that
I know
clown
people do
money.
like the Disney princess. Like, I want to bring a Disney princess to my child's birthday party or character payments, but I didn't know if they still did clowns. Anyway, I'm thinking of being a clown.
Is it like kids' birthday parties that are doing clowns? Or is
That's
it
what
like
it is.
Okay.
Or is it what? What's the other option? What's the other option?
I don't know. I was like, is this a sex thing? Do you hire a clown?
Do you hire a clown for a
stand
sex
in the
thing?
corner and
instead of like a stripper, you have a clown?
He's like making little balloon animals. He like blows it up at the same time.
Oh my god,
wiener.
is this our next?
It's like wiener and balloon in tandem.
I mean, isn't like the balloon animal for an elephant close enough? Like you could just like. So we have come up with many ideas for lucrative businesses. I think this might be the biggest one. Let's do it. Oh shit! I have lost where we are in the movie now. Okay, I'm here. Spawn is very sad because he finds out his wife is no longer his wife, and his wife is Terry's wife. But he heads back to the church, and then Clown is there, and he gives him a rundown. He does not like Clown, but he's like, you know what's going on, whatever. And then he's like, here, come, we will dig up your body. Have no idea why this is important. Ryan, if this is addressed in either the comic or the animated series, let me know. But I don't know why he needs to dig up his own body.
I think it was proof. Like, Al didn't believe that he was dead.
That he was actually dead.
Al is completely disoriented. Yeah. He has fractured memories.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't know how this proves to him because a skeleton grabs him.
Yes, that is weird. It's the necklace.
And then the necklace gets absorbed into his body. But then this is the moment that Al becomes Spawn.
Yeah.
Because he is now a suit. So that suit with magical powers that is a part of his body, much like Venom and the symbiote. Is that accurate? Symbiote?
Yeah. I think they're similar in how they work. Sort of like
it's a part of his body. Like it's part of his soul, and then it sucks in a lovely little locket that he carries. Did he carry that fucking locket in real life? Did he have a little locket with him in his?
Yeah. Yes.
Did he carry it around his neck? Was it around his neck?
I don't know.
Ryan, should I get you a locket of both of us? So then, if you die and get sent to hell and come back, you can absorb the locket and become a hell spawn.
Yeah, better to play it safe.
When's your birthday? That would be really bad if I didn't know that. I'm very sorry. So now he has obtained the suit. So if this is the video game version, this is the best moment. You finally have your sword. You finally have your weapon. You finally have how you're going to conquer everything. So he heads back to the church and he hangs out with a guy in a trench coat. The guy in the trench coat was a guy at the beginning telling us about the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out his name is Cagliostro. Oh, thank fucking God I wrote it down.
Nailed it.
His name is Cagliostro, and we find out that he is also a hell spawn that freed himself, and he now kind of fights for the good side, and he keeps an eye out for people like him. So he had his eye on Spawn. He had his eye on Al, and he was like, you're going to be, I know you. I know what you're doing. So he basically is like, let's hang out. And fun fact about Cagliostro, the name is based on a real person that existed way back when who was arrested for like occult
Sick.
stuff.
Dope.
Yeah, super cool. I'm gonna read the Wikipedia page. It's he's based on Alessandro Cagliostro. He was an Italian adventurer and self-styled magician.
Sick.
And he became a glamorous figure associated with the royal courts of Europe, where he pursued the occult arts, including psychic healing, alchemy, and scrying. His reputation lingered for many decades after his death, but he continued to deteriorate as he became regarded known as a charlatan and imposter.
What years are we talking?
1700s. He was born in 1743, died in 1795.
So he was Rasputin before Rasputin, it sounds like.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
And then he ended up, just getting into a bunch of stuff, and then he was imprisoned.
Because of all the alchemy.
Yeah, actually, I mean, well, he left England to visit Rome, where he met two people who proved to be spies of the Inquisition. Some accounts hold that his wife was the one who initially betrayed him in the Inquisition. On December 27th, 1789, he was arrested for attempting to found a Masonic lodge. Masonic?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's them.
A Masonic lodge in Rome, and imprisoned in the Castel Sant'Angelo. And he was tried and originally sentenced to death, but the sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment in Forte di San Leo, where he died in 1975. So super cool. That was the funnest part of this entire movie, was me looking at this guy and reading a bunch of shit about him and being like, super cool. He reminded me of, who's the guy that we did A Dark Song?
Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's like an early guy. One of the firsties. One of the firsties. He sounds pretty cool. You guys look him up. But he, in the movie, he is actually pretty cool. I mean, aside from, he does wear the same trench coat the entire time, same hat, doesn't change. It's fine.
No, but he rips it off at some point.
Does he? Is that at the end?
It's at the end, yeah.
Okay. I did not. We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
The last scene's a coordinated effort. So then at this time, we kind of find out also that Jason's planning on releasing a virus to take down the entire world. But Clown goes to him and is like, hey, you don't want to die, right? And he's like, yeah, man, I don't want to die. And he was like, how about we put something in your heart to make sure that if anybody murders you, that virus is released so that no one can murder you.
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. Sound logic. So he immediately goes to a doctor and is like, put this in me. Thank you. See, ivermectin of the Spawn century. I don't know.
But it is so big. It is like a Tamagotchi.
It takes a lot of space.
And they are like, we're going to just pop this in there like a pacemaker style.
It's even bigger than a pacemaker. Like, it is.
It's so
absurd.
big. It is so big.
3 Tamagotchis.
And then he immediately was like, I'm going to go to a party right after.
Yeah, just casual heart surgery.
Yeah, it didn't, like,
it was outpatient.
Didn't even matter. Yeah. And the doctor seemed to also be part, like, he was like, no, now no one will ever kill you. And I was like, I don't know if that's correct. I mean, it doesn't. What, he doesn't have a sign on himself. Should you tattoo that as well?
I know. I was like, what are we going to do? Like, release a press statement? Like, how do people know?
What if he gets in a car accident?
Not kill
I don't understand.
Yeah. Or else.
Or else. Yeah, because the stakes are not just like, we'll release this. It's like, it's a huge scope. So a couple things. The virus is the same one. It was being built. It was being developed at the place in North Korea where Al was killed. Like, his mission was to get this biochemical warfare, essentially, capture it. Now they have it, and they've built like bombs to release it, and it will kill the whole world. Did I understand that right?
That sounds about right, which is weird because it seems like Jason wants power and money, but it feels like he'll only get money because you can't have power if there are no people to have power over. We've watched Last Man on Earth. The first half of the first season. Love Will Forte.
I don't really know. Yeah, Ryan, what was the goal here? I know that He's got
like
ambrosia, but bad brosia.
Pit vipers.
Right?
What's his name? What is it?
Malbolgia.
Now I was saying
Malbolgia. We'll call him Malbrosia.
Malbrosia.
He's a bad bro.
He's a bad
right?
bro.
Because Mal is bad, so he's a bad bro. Malbrosia.
Baddest bro you're gonna meet.
So I know that he wants to like kill humans so that he has more souls for his army. But what's the army up to if the humans are dead?
Oh, it's the big army or the big war is going to be between heaven and hell.
Yeah. That's right.
It's going to be like a big Armageddon versus match.
And like they want to murder. Okay, now I understand, because they want to murder them in order to have the souls in hell.
Right.
In order for the souls. And I mean,
join their army. Got it. Okay.
The expectation at this point is like most of them are going to hell. So it's fine. They'll come here. They don't have enough time on Earth to learn that you have to be moral at some point. Do people ever learn? Do we ever learn? Whoever learns? I don't know. Let's not go there today.
I guess my question is, where's Satan in all this?
Is it Malbrogia?
Malbolgia. It's Malbolgia.
No, there's Malbolgia and then there's Malbrogia, and I think that's the top dog.
He's the baddest bro of them all.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I think that if we had gotten a sequel or a trilogy out of this, we may have met Satan himself.
So how does Dante's hell work? Because I think
there are
in the Spawn
levels.
I think in Spawn's universe there's different levels. So is it like each one has their own ruler?
I was gonna say I did read up on Malbrogia.
Now you're saying it?
No, that's it.
Damn it. Wait. Malbolgia, and that is not the name of a demon. It is, or a name of a leader in hell. It is the name of a location in hell. So it was not actually the name of a being. It was the name of a location in hell, and it was the location, I think, where the army resided. So the Malbolgia, Malbolgia was named after that area, and he became like the spokesperson for it. But I don't think that there was an intention that he was the biggest and baddest. Okay. When you introduce a character, you never put your biggest and baddest in front of him. He never did Iron Man fight Thanos in the first movie?
You know, you did mention earlier that Spawn was supposed to be a trilogy, right?
It was in the animated form that it was a trilogy.
Oh.
While they made the other two films, I did not 100% check up if it was animated or not, but we did not watch the other two.
No.
For good reason.
You know what? Won't.
Would not recommend.
Am not going to.
I might watch clips to see what it's all about, but if it is the animated version, there's a chance we might. So we find out that he's trying to release this virus. He gets this thing in his heart, and then he goes to a fancy party. Fancy party, Spawn shows up. He comes down cascading in his beautiful cape. That's how we know he's a superhero, is he has this beautiful cape that floats him down onto the ground, and he ends
Spider-Man, no cape.
Spider-Man doesn't have a cape. Spider-Man's also a child, and he didn't go to hell. He just got bit by a spider. Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies. So
one of my favorite movies is Tom Holland on Lip Sync Battle doing the Rihanna song.
That was great. That was great. 10 out of 10.
Every time
he went against him and Zendaya go against each other.
He does
I
Rihanna.
I have to watch it every time. Yeah, he does Rihanna. Good. It's so good. Honestly, check the link in the description. It's there.
Anyway, Terry's at the party. He's like, Terry, what the fuck? You took my lady. And he was like, your lady's sad. Your lady, me, we were good. We missed you. And he was like, okay, fine, bye. And then Jason's there, so he mainly went to go, fuck with Jason. And then he ends up killing Jessica. You remember Jessica, honorable mention earlier. Another mention to this. She was supposed to come back later. They were supposed to make her like some kind of an animatronic. And she was supposed to come back and fight. But money didn't make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was necessary. Like, I guess if you had the plan for her to come back, her existence in that beginning part was super necessary. But other than that, I would have probably cut her out of the film completely because it was unnecessary. We already know that he's willing to kill people. It's It doesn't faze us. She wasn't a likable character in terms of how their relationship was, so it didn't make me feel either way. I wasn't like, oh, he liked her and he killed her. That's so mad. It wasn't like anything to really pull out anything. Anyway, that's my little rant.
No, I do want to say something about this scene though.
Yeah.
So Spawn's costume is dumb. It is dumb.
Take that back.
I won't. So he shows up at this party, dumb costume. She comes out, equally dumb costume. Equally dumb. And
she's going for like a...
They are,
take that back.
They are wearing...
like a dominatrix
They are wearing the same costume. They are both...
You're not wrong.
She doesn't have the
It seemed like they were both headed to some weird sex party afterwards.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
agreed.
precisely.
100%.
Definitely she has a dom thing going on, but both are like heavy on the like leather. Hers does look like it squeaks more than his does.
For sure.
But what I want to say is she comes out, sees him, and says like, nice costume. And I was like, Jessica, look at him.
Those in glass houses.
Exactly. Put those stones down.
Well,
my good bitch.
don't you look ridiculous?
He kills Jessica. Jason gets away. But when he's also hiding, this part I didn't have my notes, but I did want to talk about it. He uses his cloak to transform him into like a pillar on the building, and then he only does it for a second, and then he was like, "Okay, they're not looking at me anymore." And I was like, "Just stay up there for like 30 minutes,
no,
dude. They're gonna fucking leave. Don't do it for 2 seconds."
He hadn't learned his powers yet. He was doing everything like without intention. It was like
good point,
like
good
reactionary.
Point.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay,
Survival
then you're explaining the
instincts.
next scene.
Yeah, sorry.
So then we get the beautiful 90s movie. What are they called?
Montage.
That's it. The beautiful montage of him learning how to use a suit with Cagliostro.
Cagliostro or
Cagliostro. So Cagliostro is like, you need to focus. This is how you use it. This is how you do it. So he goes back to the church and he tells them like, this is how you use your suit. And he basically gives them tips and tricks.
Yeah, life hacks for how to use your Spawn costume.
How to use your murder suit. You got this.
10
Just
tips.
focus and murder. It's good.
And he has essentially every power.
He has, like, his suit can do basically
Pretty
anything.
much.
Yeah.
Like, we later also see his suit turn into, like, a Batmobile. It's
Yeah.
pretty fucked up. Pretty impressive, but pretty fucked up. So at this point, we do see, and this is one of Ryan's favorite scenes, and there's reasons that it is, like, actually pretty all right. But this is a scene where Spawn and Clown are talking, and Spawn has had it up to here with Clown because I don't know why he had it up to here with him then, because he has been a piece of shit since the beginning. Clown has not been likable. He has been annoying, but is this also the farting part? Or did he fart earlier?
Oh,
he
he's
farts
been
a
farting.
lot. There's a fart. A fart when he's talking to him and he's like, why me? And he was like, because we need someone to lead us and you sad. So he's like, fine. So then he's talking to him and then Spawn tries to start fighting him. And Clown is like,
this is a
pretty
good
good
scene in the movie.
Yeah. He's pretty.
Thank you.
Earlier I said there was only one good scene. There are two
And this is-
Thank
good
you.
scenes.
Two-
There are two good scenes.
I swear, if they could have kept that quality of that like 30 to 60 seconds, that's Spawn. That is Spawn.
If that CGI and that practical effects could have been used and that editing could have been done throughout the film. But we do find out, what I'm about to describe does, the actual happening of what I'm about to describe took 8 months. This is the only thing in the film that was actually expressively thought out. Like, this one from ideation to execution took 8 months
Whoa.
to actually create. Nothing else in this movie took more than like probably half an hour to do.
Yeah.
Like everything else, they were like, yeah, that's fine. We're not going to shut his mouth at all.
Can y'all just wing it?
Yeah, that's basically all of the movie. But this one, they were like, we have to do this one right.
Yeah.
And they did. They did exactly to what Ryan's saying they did. Clown is being a little bitch. And as per usual, that's his MO. And Spawn's like, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And he starts to fight him. And he's like, I am not the vaccinator. I don't know. He goes through a bunch of V words, but
He does
then
like a
ends up,
monologue.
he's like, I'm not. But it actually turns out that throughout the comics, a couple of the things he says are other minions of like hell.
Oh.
But the thing he ends on, he's like, I'm not the vibrator, I'm the violator.
Yeah.
But his name is the Violator. So Clown is actually like the demon that he is called the Violator.
Yeah.
So he then morphs into the Violator, which uses CGI and practical effects, and it does it well. Nowhere in this film does it well at all. This part does it well. And I want somebody else to describe what it looks like, because I was like trying to describe it and I was like, I am going to leave this up to Ryan. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, sure.
Describe what we think Violator looks like.
Tall gremlin.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, so
I guess.
Clown and Spawn are butting heads, and then Clown's like, you know what? I'm going to humble you because you're not cooperating with the deal that we struck. So he transforms. It's a big transformation scene, and it's sort of like Bruce Banner turning into Hulk. Like he just grows, it starts in his head, his muscles start bulging.
Yeah, it's very like werewolf scene.
Yeah. It's not like immediate. Mm-mm. It's like he's growing, his muscles are twisting, his bones are extending. And they do like this little 3D camera effect, and then he turns into this giant gaping jaw horn demon.
Yeah. Scary.
Very tall, probably 2 to 3 times, 3 times the size, 4 times the size of Spawn in height. He towers over him. And you're like, oh, okay, this tiny little clown, you gonna be a bitch.
Yeah, because he was a little bitch,
now he's a big bitch.
And now he's like 14 feet or something.
Yeah, so he goes after him and they're fighting. This scene's pretty good too. I did rewatch it today, and there were a couple scenes that like CGI his mouth is wide, but then it goes to practical effects and his mouth is tiny.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, that's quick enough that it doesn't catch me unless I'm trying to catch that.
Right.
They did really good on at least the editing to make me believe that. And if they had carried that throughout the film, I feel like it would have been a different film.
This felt like a different film.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. It feels so misplaced in everything else. It really does. Like this is... You guys, don't watch Spawn, but watch the time between. We'll put the time. We'll put the little clip of where you need to watch it.
Yeah, hopefully I can find like a YouTube video of this, and I'll just I'll link to
it. Like the dip in quality from that to like all the other scenes, like Malbolgia, the
Broja,
big like demon guy. Yeah,
Broja.
It's like it was made on a PS1 cutscene. Like it's
bad.
Bad, yeah.
It's bad.
It's not textured well. It's not animated well. It just looks weird for a movie.
But something that I didn't talk about that I love about this movie, the voice of Malbolgia is the same voice in The Lion King that is the little area in the front. Ryan, you have to do the voice. I can't.
Oh, I can't imitate it.
Diamond in the rough. Is that it's The Lion King?
Diamond in the rough.
I'm a liar.
Diamond in the rough is Aladdin.
But in Aladdin, he does the same voice. Right when I heard it, I was like, Diamond in the rough. And I was like, this is weird. So it was super weird to hear that voice. That exact same voice. And I was like, he's not, I mean, he is evil, but he's like just trying to guard his treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that scene, but I don't remember, like, who says Diamond in the Rough?
I don't know. Let Ryan say it because I can't say it. Come on, you can do it. Maybe.
Okay, yeah. It's like the big sand cave.
Lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has the face. That's the entrance.
You have to say it.
And, okay.
You have to say it.
It's not good, but
I
will do
it's
it.
better than I can do.
Diamond in the rough.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's not good.
You guys can hear it. You can hear it in your head.
Okay, now say Malbrosia.
Malbrosia. That wasn't Ryan. Sorry.
Malbrosia.
That's
pretty
good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Scary.
deep.
Thank you. They should have asked me. I would have been much cheaper.
How old were you in 97? Had you
I was 8.
puberty in 97?
Have you puberty yet?
So, yeah, I could have done it.
All right. So then Violator wins. Spawn is no longer capacitated. Like they didn't kill him. He just was like, I'm in charge, man. I am in charge.
He's been knocked down a peg or two.
He flings him against a gate with
It seems like it's made of foam.
Okay. You got to start watching stuff on a projector in my bedroom where you can't see anything. So
It looks like it was made of some rubber fingers. But yeah, it looks like he should be murdered. But I guess he's already dead.
He's already dead. Yeah. He can just necroplasm his way out of it. Oh, he can heal hella fast. But he gets flung up on the thing with his arms out like Jesus. Was that?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
He did get resurrected, so I guess maybe.
The imagery.
Yeah, I think
but
that
he's
it was
like the
supposed to be
hell
imagery.
Jesus.
I don't know what they were trying to do. My point in bringing that up was I think that they were trying to do a Jesus thing, and I think that they did a bad job.
That might be true.
Ultimately, I'm trying to college essay it where there's no college essay to be had. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So, this whole fight started because Clown threatened Spaz, the dog.
Yes. We told him to put the dog down. He said he would put the dog to sleep, and then he slowly transformed into the Violator. Which is that's a terrifying name. I didn't think about it until just now, and I was like, meh.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought about it in the movie. I was like, yikes.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Yikes.
That's bad. Oh, okay, no, I lied. So the montage of him going through his training happens now after the fight. Not prior to the fight, after the fight.
Oh, right.
You're right.
After he gets
and then he's like,
out.
now that you know,
mm-hmm.
you're off to your final test. And so, Cagliostro is he's maybe he's gonna be good. Maybe. Mm-hmm. He's holding his breath a little bit, and he's like, let's just hope. So then at the scene, he goes, he's like, I'm gonna go get some sweet, sweet revenge. And we all know that he's going to get revenge on Jason for murdering him and sending him to hell. But if he does that, then, the virus is released, which is the clown's plan all along.
Yeah, Clown is double agent here.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his schemes have schemes. His scheme on scheme on scheme.
My schemes have schemes.
Yeah, exactly. So then he ends up, Spawn's like, I'm going to go. And he starts making his way there, I think on a motorcycle.
Downtown. Walking fast. Some faces pass. I'm homebound.
He is homebound because he's going to Wanda's, and Clown is just kind of being a bitch. I really don't understand the intent of the scene other than at the end there's an explosion and Clown gets thrown over to Wanda's house instead of having to take transportation.
I don't know what.
I guess the intent was for him to explode over so he could get there earlier. This entire scene was so he could get there earlier. There's a race scene, and it's not for him to get there first. It's just for him to fuck with Spawn. The entire thing is for him to just fuck with Spawn. So he's in an 18-wheeler.
Where did that come from?
Everywhere.
And who's
all
driving
wares.
it? Because he's up top.
Yeah, I mean, he starts with driving it, and then I think he puts a brick on the
he's ghostwriting it.
I think that there was no expectation that he was gonna survive this because he's already dead, so he doesn't have that fear in him. So he explodes over to Wanda's house.
Wait, sorry. Before that, during this race scene is where the Spawn's cloak turns into a motorcycle.
Yes.
And also, I don't really understand what happened.
A little spike?
I don't understand what happened. But at some point, Clown says something like, "Oh, it's ooze time," and then he squirts ooze on the highway.
And we don't really know what the ooze is. What is the ooze?
Yeah.
Is it oil? How is it? They make you believe it's slippery. It's a very slippery.
It's something Malbrosia-y. I don't know what it was.
Oh, no.
It was like a slime from Nickelodeon in the early 90s. It was very much like that.
Yeah, I don't know
It had the same consistency, I would say.
I just wanted to. He just had that line. Man, I should have written this down. My notes should have been the title and then this line.
And then that one line. Ugh.
Oh,
I mean, every one of Clown's lines is actually pretty good. And the way he delivers it is always, even like the fart jokes.
No, I don't
I was like,
those.
I get it. You committed. I don't love fart jokes, but you committed.
He did commit,
like,
yeah.
He delivered them well.
Yeah.
He always delivered them well.
Yeah, no, he committed, yeah.
So he exploded over to Wanda's, and Jason has arrived at Wanda's because Terry is double crossing, because Terry is a good bro. He is what's the opposite of mal? Bien? That's Spanish, I guess.
Yeah.
Bien, bro.
Bon?
Terry
is it French? Bon.
Bon. Terry's a bon bro.
Bon bro.
Bro.
Terry's a good dude, and he's been trying to take down Jason because Jason is a bag of shit, and he's like, I'm going to just give all this information on him being a bag of shit to the news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to just spread that on. So Jason already has an inclination that might be what's happening, so he shows up there. How these events are known in this plot, I am confused by, because I have no idea why Spawn is on his way to Wanda's to kill Jason. How did he know Jason was going to be there?
Did he? I know that Clown repeated, including during the explosion over to Wanda's scene. He kept saying, "See you at Wanda."
Yeah. Oh, maybe he was trying to get him over there.
That was great.
Okay, so maybe Clown also was like your bro Terry or your subordinate Terry. I don't know if he would consider him a bro. I feel like he's someone that doesn't consider people bros.
You know what? This plot is Swiss cheese. We're going to drive ourselves crazy trying to fill in all these holes.
Good point.
Everybody's at
Valid
Wanda's.
point.
It's a sleepover.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're at Terry's. Jason's there. Jason's like, hey, Terry, I see the shit you're doing. Get away from that computer. He's already given the information to the news, so I don't think it matters that much.
And then he shoots the monitor of the computer, not even the tower. I was like, that's not going to solve your problem.
Which reminds me of Zoolander. Yeah, like where he's like, they're in the computer. And then he crashes the computer. I was like, I don't know if that's going to fully solve your problem. I think they still exist. As long as the hard drive's intact, you're good.
It made me think of Pulse when they were like, I was like, but the internet is the problem. You don't have to be at the real computer. Like, you don't have to be at the originating computer. You just have to be on the internet.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, exactly. So we know Jason's super smart, putting that little heart bomb in him. So then this is where Spawn gets there, and he sees that his people are... Cyan is tied up, and Terry is tied up. He doesn't see Wanda. Wanda magically appears in this weird sex trap. Now, what was that? It's like a weird thing that holds them.
Wait.
Come on, you guys.
I thought it was
like
a tree.
It's not a tree.
Tree.
Wait.
It definitely has
serious?
like kind of branches, but it's circular. It's like
it's
a little
circular.
like,
it's almost like
it does seem like an organic feature.
It's like the who's the artist with the body?
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. He's like,
oh yeah,
it's almost
Vitruvian
like
Man.
Yeah, her arms aren't like up like
but
that
it
guy.
feels like that's where people are strapped. It feels like something that people are strapped to, and Wanda is strapped to it. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So Wanda's strapped to this weird ass thing that came up from the ground that looks kind of like a tree, kind of like it's made of mud, and she is tied to it. So then Jason pops up behind us, like, "Be careful, I'm a murderer if you do anything."
Yeah.
Hostage situation.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Perf. And that's the only thing that our friend Spawn or Al cares about.
Yeah,
And
just Wanda.
so I'm trying to remember what happens next. Does Jason proceed to kill Wanda, or it's Jason?
Jason kills Wanda really
slits
fast.
her throat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then Al immediately goes up to like take care of her and hug her and be very sad. And does he like then have an attack of conscience to not kill Jason after after that because he looks over at Cyan. Someone says something about Cyan, and it's like, what about her?
Yeah, he goes to kill Jason, and Jason is like, lol, if you kill me, everybody dies, including the child.
And that was the part that he was like, fuck. That's the only part of Wanda that's left.
Yes, that's the only part of Wanda that's left. And he and Cyan, like Al and Cyan, have had some like nice moments throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he goes over to free him and Terry.
At some part, he goes up to Wanda and like hugs her and is very sad. And then Wanda is like starting to say some shitty stuff to him and then licks his face. And then we find out it ain't Wanda.
It's not Wanda.
It ain't fucking Wanda. However, 8+ on the actress because she was super good as a clown. Maybe it's a character that people can embody very well because I did not like her until she was a clown. I was like, you know what? Good job.
No, this is the only good part. Like when Jason shows up at the house and he like ushers in Wanda and Cyan into Terry's office while he's emailing all that info. She comes into the office all dead-eyed, even though Jason has a gun on her kid. And I was like, oh, she's like been brainwashed or something. No, just Wanda just didn't have. No. She just didn't have a personality. In that entire movie, that's
exactly how she was. Yeah, there was not one scene with her where it was like she's got a personality. Until that one.
That scene and when Al shows up at the birthday party and she reacts.
She's very protective of Cyan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just didn't. But whenever she did act like the clown, I was like, nice.
Yeah,
you're showing. You're showing.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed by that. And then, she turns into the clown, and
it wasn't Wanda at all.
And then there was a fight that ensued with the Violator. Did he turn into the Violator, or was he? He was the Violator. He wasn't the clown. And Cagliostro showed up at some point. I am going to be so bad at describing the scene. They go down to hell at some point and fight some shit.
Drags them to hell through the fire pit.
Yeah.
Through the
fireplace. Yeah.
And then Spawn is just like, let me electrocute all of your army with my chest. Is it because of the locket? Does the love from the locket take them all out?
Oh my god.
Is that what that was?
Oh my god.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. You guys were having a realization real time.
Okay, yeah, they didn't really explain it, but Spawn pulls some sort of like ultimate Omega move. And he takes on like the entire Legion of Hell's army all at once. He does like this big green necroplasm attack, and it comes from his chest, right?
Yeah.
His locket.
So maybe it was the locket.
It must have been the
love he had for Wanda.
Oh my god.
That destroyed the other Hell Spawn.
The
army of Hell was destroyed by love.
Oh my god. You know what, Ryan? It's not you that didn't connect these dots.
Nobody did.
The movie did not connect these dots.
Don't take on that blame.
We've talked about this. Spoon feed us certain shit. Don't spoon feed us everything. But this was something that we needed to be spoon fed. Please and thank you. Put it in the blender and hand it to us. I can't digest that easily.
Yeah. Some of the stuff they were really heavy handed on, like Wanda. You know, when he's like. But then they're just like, we don't need to explain it.
No, I'll be like,
you'll get to it. You'll figure it out. And then he ends up destroying them, coming back up, and then there's another like semi fight with the Violator, and then he goes away. And then that's the end of the film, I guess. There are little bits after it, and then Cagliostro was like, Spawn was like, "What if I wasn't good or something?" He was like, "I would have had to kill you."
Yeah, it's like cute. It's cute.
It's really sweet.
They're just
he's like,
down.
I'm gonna have to do that. That's fine, but I'm glad. He was like, I had faith that you were gonna be someone else.
So what happened to Jason? I know that Spawn like
hung out in the corner.
He magicked out the Tamagotchi from his heart.
He did. That was pretty cool. I forgot about that part.
And then there is the fight with the Violator, where the Violator is trying to chomp off. Oh, so that's something. All of these demons, the way to kill them is decapitate them. And so
But he still got sucked down and survived. Violator's still alive.
Is he? That was unclear to me.
He got decapitated and then he went back down to hell to respawn.
Huh. Okay. Well, so just another hole in the movie. So earlier in the movie, they said beheaded is the way to kill them.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
he
why
totally would.
this scene, like, the Violator is trying to chomp off Spawn's head to kill him. And Cagliostro is like, use your suit. And Spawn
Oh, yeah.
like turns his suit, like uses the like chains from his suit to like his head is in the Violator's mouth and he's like prying it open.
He like porcupines.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He porcupines. Yeah.
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 Is this what you were saying was the other good scene? Was
No,
the
absolutely
porcupine?
not. We totally no.
Wait, what was the other good scene?
I would love to
say
tell you.
The clown turning into Violator is the good scene, and then what's the other good scene?
The credits.
The credits are the fucking worst.
When it ended. No, the other good scene, we like blew over this in the plot recap because it's not super important, but there's a scene where Spawn goes to see Wanda. She's like a I guess she's a virologist or something.
Oh,
like she's doing a presentation on the crazy virus that we're trying to release, or Jason is trying to release. She's doing a presentation and Cyan is like out in the hallway and Spawn is creeping on Wanda and ends up hanging out with the kid. That's not the good scene. I don't really know what the scene was. It probably should have been cut. But Spawn is like hanging out with Cyan and then it cuts to Clown in the gym.
That is, and Clown is like wearing a cheerleader outfit.
And he's like, Spawn, he's our man. That's it. That's the best scene of the movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Most scenes with Clown, I say that like that was a standout performance. Like he did amazing. But also I heard, and by I heard, I mean I read in the trivia of IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Jai White, who plays Al Simmons, who plays Spawn, had come out saying that he hates the movie Obby.
Yeah.
But the original movie that was made was like a character piece, and it had a lot of like. But the studio came in and they were like, it needs to be funnier. It needs to be this. It needs to be this. So then they sliced and diced it to make it what it quote unquote needed to be.
Yeah.
But this could have been a piece that was as good as the HBO miniseries that everybody ends up loving, and it sounds like it's timeless. I've had people that I've talked to about us doing this episode be like, I love the Spawn HBO miniseries. And I'm like, well, we're doing the movie. And then they're like, okay. Man, this movie feels like there were parts of it that you were like, I can see what you wanted. I can see that it did not happen.
So I have a question. Ryan, have you read the comics?
Yeah, some of them. I haven't read all of them.
Are they funny or are they darker and brooding?
They're all the ones I read were pretty dark.
Oh man.
Ryan's a fan of dark and brooding when it comes to superheroes.
Yeah.
That is so curious because coming out of this movie, I was like, got it. The comics are very funny. I was like, that scene, the cheerleader scene with Clown.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that was like a big, like they put that into the movie because that was like a transition spread in the comic. And they were like, fans are going to lose their shit if we don't do this. No?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it was a comic. I think it was the studio fucking with that shit.
Like I think like
weird.
the little kid that they added and maybe even like the dog. I'm not sure if
I think that they added the dog. Here's why. The name of the dog, Spaz, was like the name of the art director of the movie. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. The other parts, do you know who was originally slated to direct this movie?
Tim Burton.
Fuck you. You read all of the trivia before coming in here.
No, was that right?
Yeah,
that was a shot in the dark, I think. She bullseyed that.
That was
nice job. Holy shit.
I didn't read shit about this movie.
Tim Burton was
did not
slated
want
to be.
to watch this movie.
That's valid. That's valid. No one's against that part of it.
Oh man. So we would have had Johnny Depp as Spawn.
Oh
my god,
you
and
have to
Helena
do
Bonham Carter as
blackface.
Clown.
I mean, I would have still cast John Leguizamo no matter who the director was in that case.
Yeah, he can be Wanda.
He would have done a great job.
Oh man.
Yeah. Wow,
Oh my
great
God.
guess.
Thank
Fucked
you.
up guess. Great guess. Well, this was Spawn. It was a watch. We watched it.
It's
I'm
certainly a
proud of us for
movie.
getting through it.
Mhm.
It was hard. We pushed it out 3 to 4 times. I think we had planned to record it prior to Event Horizon, and then we had to push it out another week. It was rough.
It was supposed to be after I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, we had some times.
Yeah.
It was difficult. And like I Know What You Did Last Summer became a 2-parter, and it was like after we did the first. Like, it's been a time. We got through it. Watch the HBO miniseries. Todd McFarlane is an awesome dude. Another fun thing, Brian showed me this at the beginning of the HBO series. He does like a fact or fiction. What is it? Did you ever watch that show? Like, what is it called?
Is that the
it's
one
called
with,
something fact or
with
fiction.
Riker from Star Trek.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. That sounds
Beyond
right.
Belief.
Beyond Belief, fact or fiction.
Okay.
Yeah. And he comes in and he's like, he's like, have you ever had a moment where someone said something to you that you had heard before? But like Todd McFarlane does that at the beginning of every episode of Spawn. So he does it beyond Belief, fact or fiction. Like if you died and went to hell and somebody gave you a chance to go back, but it was 5 years later, would you?
Absolutely not.
Like
no.
it's so good. It is amazing. Like 10 out of 10 would recommend based on that alone. But yeah, watch the HBO series. Spawn itself is a great character. Like this movie pooped. This movie was supposed to unpoop recently, but there's been so many like this was supposed to be. Ryan, you were telling me this was supposed to have a remake at some point recently. Jamie Foxx was slated.
Yeah.
But pandemics happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure Todd's been trying to get a follow-up movie or like a reboot for a long time. And the last time I heard about it was in 2018. And they were already casting people. Jamie Foxx was going to be Al Simmons. And it was going to be produced through Blumhouse. How do you say it?
Blumhouse. I guess I've never said it out loud because I just see it at the beginning of a lot of horror movies.
Yeah, so a legit one, like a horror production.
I thought it was Blumhouse. Is it Blumhouse? Kelly, is it Blumhouse?
I would say
Blumhouse.
I would say Bloom. Does it have an umlaut?
I don't know. We like it. We think it's great. We love.
Oh, the guy who plays Hawkeye. He was going to be
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the detectives called Twitch, I think is his name.
Who's played by Professor Keen Bean in the animated series. Professor Keen Bean is from Richie Rich. That is the
there you go.
Name of his character, not the name of the actor, but you're welcome.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything about
Ghost
it.
of Casper.
So...
They don't tell you that.
Ghost is Casper?
Ghost of Casper. Richie Rich.
Whoa.
That's not true. I'm sorry.
But they look the same.
I'm
from
the internet, and they say that.
Huh? How did he die?
Too much money.
Affluence.
Yeah. Affluenza.
Yeah. Died by a terrible case. Oh, so I don't know if this is a funny story, but there was one time I was chatting on AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh, what year was this?
This was in the 90s.
97. It was 97.
Yeah, maybe. But and I made like a new account. That's like
Spawn Lover 69.
Yeah, Spawn
Lover 2069, please.
And I added like one of my friends, and I was like, I'm gonna sound really cool right now. And there's a line in one of the Spawn comics where
it's
Al
Ooze
is
City. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
like,
oozing time.
Spawn is confronting Jason, and then Jason's like, "Who are you?" And Spawn says, "Someone who got in your way, who didn't count." And I'm like, "Yo, that's good. I'm gonna use it." So they're like, "Hey, who's this?" "Someone who got in your way, who didn't count." And they're like, "What?" It's Ryan.
I was like, okay, Ryan, what the fuck was that?
But I thought it was so cool.
Did he know Spawn?
No.
Yeah.
Did anybody
okay.
know Spawn at that time?
What's worse, it was a girl I had a crush on.
Oh no. No, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
better than the ooze thing that I was saying, though.
If
for
that was
sure.
your pickup line to me, it would not have gone much farther.
Spawn fucked me up real good. Don't watch this movie. It's never done me any favors.
Me either.
But you have convinced me to watch it more than once, and every time I'm like, okay, I'll watch it, and then I do, and then the same thing happens where I'm like, I watched that movie, right? Like I've seen that movie, right? Don't remember it. For some reason, 3 weeks later, my brain is like, something else is more important than this. Here you go. Anything else?
When we were prepping to record today, I was like, boy, I remember the cheerleader scene.
We watched it. Yeah. That's the gist. The cheerleader scene and the change into the violator.
Transformation.
I didn't even remember that until you were
until we started
describing
talking.
it. And then I was like, that was good. Yeah.
It was
okay.
good.
It was good for the time. It doesn't hold up, but for the 90s,
I think it does.
was
I mean,
amazing.
moderately, because they used practical effects with it.
Yeah, that's true.
No other scene
That's
did they
true.
really use practical effects.
Yeah, it was a pretty
Some
good
of
blend of
Spawn's suit,
CGI and
they
practical.
blended it, but like
Oh,
that
but
the change into the violator was the only one that made sense and that felt
Yeah.
organic. Nah, it didn't feel organic. There were still definitely parts that left something to be desired, but all in all, great scene.
Yeah, I agree. Like, that's legitimately the best scene of the movie.
Yeah. So would not recommend, but watch that scene. And support Todd McFarlane. Go buy Image Comics. We support anybody who supports creators, so
Yeah,
definitely
this
support
just-
creators.
This just didn't work out. Yeah, speaking of, go to RyanTateArt.com.
Oh, fuck
support,
yeah.
Aww.
support our very own creator.
Oh, shucks.
Aw.
Well, thank you.
What can you find there?
You can find originals for sale, stickers, buttons, and cool t-shirts.
And try to check out Ryan Tate Art on YouTube as well. He
Yes.
makes some fun videos talking
Hit
about
me
the
up.
creative process.
Drop in, say hi, have a lot of fun making videos. So,
And there's also a video about our podcast art.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to know the origin story of the logo, check out the video. I made a whole thing about it. It's really cool.
Yeah, check the description. There will be a link there for you to follow.
Next time you hear from us, we'll be starting a new series. I think we're going to do Celebrations Gone Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a couple good movies lined up. We don't know explicitly what order they're in. We think the next one we're going to do is Ready or Not, which is about a wedding. And Little Evil, Happy Death Day, 2001 Maniacs. But also write in, because there's a chance that you could actually influence our decision in the movies if you know of any movies that have some strange celebration that goes wrong. Oh, should we watch? Nope. We're kind of going for light on this one. I don't know if you guys have noticed. We've been having sometimes. I was about to say, should we do Midsommar?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Oof.
That would be. Do we want to do The Dark and the Wicked again?
Let's just
do we
that
want to do
again.
it darker than ever? No,
Ugh.
thank you.
Love
So-
Midsommar.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I don't have the emotional
we can't.
right
Yeah,
now.
we can't talk about it. We can't go through it. We can't dissect it. So if you have any recommendations on some light celebration movies, we will accept it. So yeah, we're excited. And then I think after that we might do the Kevin Bacon one because them is coming out. So you guys check that out if you want. We haven't seen it, so we're not super promoting it. But Kevin Bacon is Kevin Bacon, so do what you will with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I got. So thanks for listening. Spawn thing. Ryan, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
We loved having you.
you.
Oh yeah, we're at No Show Monster on most things. So No Show Monster on Twitter, No Show Monster on Instagram. We don't update Instagram as much. So find us on Twitter for the most part, and then noshowmonster@gmail.com if you have any personal questions that you don't want the public to see. You guys are great. Happy spookies, happy spookies, happy spookies.
Happy spookies.
Happy spookies.